a small, dusty piece of land in South Africa become the center of massive wealth and deep inequality. It all started in 1867 when a shiny stone was found in Kimberley, leading to one of the biggest diamond rushes in history. These were not just any ordinary stones, they were diamonds of immense value, and their discovery would change South Africa forever. It sparked an economic boom, shifted the political landscape as powerful figures fought for control, and reshaped society by deepening divisions along racial and social lines. This transformation turned South Africa into an industrial powerhouse, but it came at a very heavy cost. At first, the diamond fields were chaotic. They attracted a frenzy of hopeful diggers from all over the world, pouring into Kimberley, each dreaming of striking it rich. But those days of individual fortune hunting didn't last long. As the diamond rush grew, powerful businessmen like Cecil Rhodes took control and built massive corporations to dominate the industry. What had started as a free-for-all undertaking soon became a high-stakes battle for power and wealth, leaving no room for the small players. Yet while diamonds brought unimaginable wealth and transformed the region into an industrial hub, they also exposed the deep racial and economic divides that would shape the future of the nation. The promise of wealth attracted people from across the world, but it also deepened inequality, as a strict labor system was created, dividing workers by race and skill. The diamond rush was no longer just about fortune. It soon became about power, exploitation, and the creation of a new social order that would leave lasting scars on South Africa's landscape. But before the chaos of the diamond rush and the rise of powerful empires, we need to go back to 1867, to a simple farm along the Orange River, where an extraordinary discovery would change everything. In 1867, something unusual happened that would change South Africa's history forever. It was an ordinary day on the farm Tikal, located along the banks of the Orange River near Hope Town, roughly 121 kilometers away from present-day Kimberley. A small boy by the name of Erasmus Jacobs was playing on the land of his father's farm when he stumbled upon an unusual stone. It was an impressive discovery, smooth and shiny, its beauty hidden beneath the dust and dirt of the land. Little did anyone know, this humble discovery would mark the beginning of an era that would shake the very foundation of the region. The stone was identified as a diamond, a 21.25 carat gem that would come to be known as the first significant diamond found in South Africa. Jock van Niekerk, a neighbor of the Jacobs family, took the stone to a trader named Aurelie. The trader had the stone examined and experts confirmed its true value. It was indeed a diamond. This discovery set in motion a chain of events that would ignite a rush of fortune seekers to the area. The diamond was bought by Sir Philip Woodhouse, the governor of the Cape Colony, for a sum of 2,000 rands, a large amount of money back then. When the colonial secretary presented the stone to the Cape House of Assembly, he famously declared, "Gentlemen, this is the rock on which the future success of South Africa will be built." His words would turn out to be prophetic. Within just 5 years, diamonds worth an incredible amount of 3.2 million rands were exported from the region. And over the course of the following century, South Africa would produce diamonds worth at least 1.4 billion rands, a fortune that would shape the country's economy for generations. The excitement from the discovery of the diamond on the Jacobs farm spread quickly, and soon a crowd of eager prospectors rushed into the area, determined to dig out more precious stones. The first discovery triggered a rush of searchers and adventurers, all hoping to get rich. As the rush continued, it became clear that the area around the Orange River was full of potential. In the years that followed, prospectors continued to find diamonds along the banks of the Vaal River. Although these findings were not as rich as the original discovery, they were enough to keep the spirit of the hunt alive. miners started using alluvial mining techniques, scraping and panning the riverbeds to find diamonds. Alluvial mining involves searching for precious stones or minerals in soil or gravel that has been carried by water from upstream. The steady flow of prospectors kept the search going, even though no big deposits were found in the Vaal River area. These alluvial operations kept drawing people hoping to try their luck. However, in 1869, the most important discoveries were made. That year, a Greek shepherd found an amazing stone at Dutoitspan. The stone, weighing an incredible 82.5 carats, was named the Star of South Africa. This discovery made global news, and the gem was sold for a remarkable 50,000 rands, a huge sum at that time. It became a symbol of the vast wealth hidden beneath South Africa's soil, drawing the attention of prospectors from around the world. The news of these findings spread like wildfire, and soon the dusty grasslands of the Western Orange Free State and Transvaal became a magnet for diamond prospectors. People from far and wide came to the region in large numbers, driven by the enticing possibility of riches. Every new discovery increased the excitement, as thousands of miners rushed to claim their land and search for more diamonds. In just a few short years, the once quiet frontier of South Africa had been transformed into a busy and often chaotic hub of mining activity. What started with a boy finding a diamond on a remote farm quickly turned into a full diamond rush, bringing wealth, conflict, and change. The chance to get rich attracted people from all over the world, and the diamond fields became a mix of cultures and dreams. But as the hunt of diamonds grew, so did the arguments over who owned the land and its valuable resources. This set the stage for a time of fierce competition and struggle, marking the start of South Africa's big economic and industrial changes. After 1869, the diamond industry began to change, shifting from a chaotic rush of independent miners to being controlled by large corporations. In 1870, major discoveries marked the start of a new era, with Kimberley becoming a hub of mining activity. The once dry, dusty, and empty land had transformed into a bustling center of large-scale mining operations, with over 50,000 miners working the fields. This industrial revolution, driven by machines and efficiency, firmly established Kimberley as South Africa's diamond city. The Big Hole, for example, a symbol of Kimberley, became one of the most famous mines in history, producing diamonds valued at around 100 million rands over its 43 years of operation. These developments not only marked the beginning of South Africa's industrial revolution, but it also created huge opportunities for ambitious businessmen to shape the future of the region. But the rapid growth of the industry brought misfortune and hardship for many miners who came hoping to get rich quickly. They soon found that the best diamonds were buried deep in a layer of volcanic rock called blue ground. Digging them out of these depths needed significant investment in machines and infrastructure, making it almost impossible for them to compete. So their small-scale operations were no longer viable. This is when large companies with the financial resources and technology needed for such operations began to dominate the industry, kicking out all the small miners since they couldn't keep up. As Kimberley grew, arguments about land ownership of the diamond fields also became stronger. The land north of the Orange River became a key point of disagreement, with different groups fighting for control. During this time, Cecil Rhodes and his company De Beers started to play a big role in shaping the diamond industry. Rhodes was a British businessman. He saw the need for more control over diamond production to stabilize the industry. In 1888, he created De Beers Consolidated Mines, bringing together several mining operations under one company. This strategic move allowed De Beers to dominate the diamond market and control diamond prices across the world. The creation of De Beers was a turning point. It changed the diamond industry from a mix of independent miners to a centralized, corporate-controlled sector. This shift not only transformed the diamond industry, but it also helped to launch South Africa's industrial economy. People like Rhodes and companies like De Beers played important roles in shaping the future of both the diamond business and the country's economy. But as the diamond industry began to take shape, the massive riches hidden in the ground sparked conflicts that would change the course of history in ways no one could have predicted. At this point, it became evident that the discovery of diamonds in South Africa was more than just the beginning of an economic empire. It unleashed a fierce struggle over who had the right to claim this newfound wealth. Before the diamonds could transform the country, they ignited battles for control among Boer republics, indigenous tribes, and colonial powers, each determined to stake their claim to the riches buried beneath the land. The land north of the Orange River, where the famous Kimberley fields were located, quickly became a battleground. Four main groups fought for control. First, it was the Orange Free State who claimed the fields, saying the land was part of their territory because of treaties and their governance in the area. Others disagreed, wanting the wealth for themselves. Next, it was Nicholas Waterpua, leader of the Griqua people. He claimed the land for his people, saying they had historical connections to the area. With support from his British advisor, he faced opposition from Boer republics and colonial leaders. The other party involved in these arguments was the South African Republic, or the Transvaal, who claimed the fields, referencing an 1852 treaty. Although they had some British support, their claim was challenged by Boer leaders who wanted more land. Then there was the local tribes, the Barolong, Batlaping, and the Corona people. They said they owned the land because of their ancestors, but their claims were mostly ignored by the stronger Boer and colonial forces seeking economic and political control over the area. So these tensions grew, and even though there were attempts to settle the dispute, it remained unresolved. Which brings us to the next part of the story, where the British government felt the need to intervene. The fight over the diamond fields became more intense when the British government, which had not been involved at first, started to take an interest. Things got worse when President Brand of the Orange Free State and Nicholas Waterpua of the Griqua people agreed to let an impartial judge, Sir Philip Waterhouse, to help settle their dispute over the Campbell lands. But before Waterhouse could take any action, he was called back to Britain. So in 1870, Brand suggested that the representatives from the parties involved meet to continue their discussions. During the discussions, he managed to prove that Waterpua of the Griqua people didn't control certain areas as they claimed. This led Waterpua and his advisor David Arnott to leave the meeting and ask the British government for help in the dispute. Up to this point, the British had not been involved in these arguments, but now the Cape Colonial Secretary Richard Southey saw the dispute as a chance to stop the Boer republics from taking control of the diamond fields, and he pushed for British involvement instead. He saw the region as being important for British expansion in Southern Africa. The acting Governor Hay, who was Sir Henry Hay, the British official overseeing the Cape Colony, supported the Griquas and told the Boer republics that their claims wouldn't be accepted anymore. This was part of the British Empire's plan to control the region. By backing Waterpua of the Griqua people, the British aimed to show their dominance in Southern Africa. Later down the line in October 1871, Lieutenant Governor Kidd of Natal, the British appointed official who was in charge, made a decision that was a huge loss for the Transvaal. The court ruled in favor of other claimants, taking the diamond fields from the Transvaal and giving away a large portion of land. This decision shifted control of the diamond fields and marked a turning point in the power struggle in South Africa. The Transvaal lost control of its most valuable resource, while the British Empire gained more power over the region. The tension around the diamond fields reached its peak when President Brand of the Orange Free State, who was the leader of the Boer republics, refused to accept arbitration. Arbitration is a process where an independent party helps to resolve a dispute, and in this case, it was meant to settle the disagreement over land ownership. Cape Governor Barclay, who was the British official in charge of the Cape Colony, had tried to settle the dispute through arbitration. However, President Brand refused because he didn't want Britain to interfere in South Africa's internal affairs. While Brand was willing to accept arbitration, he wanted a neutral party like the American president or the King of Holland to oversee it. Britain rejected this idea because it would allow foreign powers to weaken British control over the region. So in the midst of all this, Kimberley, the heart of the Diamond Rush, became the capital of the new British colony. Richard Southey, the Cape Colonial Secretary, was made Lieutenant Governor, which strengthened British control over the diamond fields. The annexation ended Boer control and marked the beginning of a time when the British Empire would dominate Southern Africa's economy and politics. The discovery of diamonds in South Africa had a profound impact on both the white and black populations, and it reshaped society in significant ways. For the white population, the diamond rush led to rapid urbanization, as Kimberley was growing from a small settlement to a booming city of over 50,000 people within 5 years. This attracted fortune seekers and rural migrants, but also disrupted the traditional rural lifestyle of the Afrikaners, creating a lot of tension as industrialization began to challenge their conservative values. Initially, Kimberley was a chaotic place, plagued by crime, smuggling, and immorality. However, the wealth generated by the diamond industry eventually brought stability. Despite this, economic inequality widened as some rural farmers fell into debt and poverty, while individuals like Cecil Rhodes and Barney Barnato accumulated vast fortunes, forming a powerful capitalist elite. For the black population, the discovery of diamonds brought thousands of workers to the mines, with the number of black miners rising from 50,000 in 1871 to over 200,000 by 1910. Many of these workers sought wages or firearms, often leaving their traditional rural lives behind. This shift towards urbanization and exposure to Western commerce led to cultural changes, with many black individuals adopting aspects of Western life and moving away from their tribal roots. For younger generations born in mining towns, returning to rural areas became less appealing. As time passed, urban black populations began pushing for legal rights and representation, setting the stage for future political movements.